press record, and whoever else jumps on, we will do it. And so when you do, you can just like wave or something. Oh, it's already recording. Cool. Hey guys, welcome to Team Call Tuesday. This is our first call of September. So I am super pumped to be here with you guys tonight. We are going to be talking about a topic that I think many of you can relate to, and if you can't, maybe you know someone that this call will help. But before we do, I wanted to, number one, just congratulate everyone who achieved Success Club last month. We had an amazing amount of coaches who hit Success Club. Lizzie hit for the first time, which I know is super excited for her because she's been working so hard. Leah hit, Maddie hit, Morgan hit, Katrina hit, Amanda hit, Nicole hit at the last freaking minute. It was awesome. Jennifer hit, and she was preparing for fair. We had Marie. We had Nick and Brad, which are two spouses, right? So not only did these girls hustle in their account, but they also hustled in their spouse's account because so many of you guys are pushing for amazingly big things by the end of the year. Cynthia hit. It's just been super, super awesome. You guys are on fire, and I don't want that to slow down for August. For September. So we're going to talk a little bit about that strategy. The other thing is we have the end of Lift 4 Round 1 this coming Friday for most everyone. So guys, that is so awesome. I'm a habitual hopper arounder. I actually did a post about it today, which means after I finish a program, I normally I'll do this and I'll do whatever workout I feel like doing today. But I'm super pumped to do round 2. I love this program. I think it's so smart that it's a 4-day a week. People are able to, fit it into their busy lifestyle. Joel gives us a cheat day, which I think is really awesome for people. And the fact that you get kill results in 8 weeks is super, super inspiring. So the only reason I wouldn't be doing a second round is if I get asked to be in if I earn my spot into the Transform 20 test group, which my fingers are crossed, or I get asked to be in the Shift Shop 2, which my fingers are also crossed for that. And if I get none of it, guess what? I'm just going in for round 2. So what is your guys' strategy? If you have not started thinking about that yet, I always time to start thinking about it because people are watching, right? They've seen you go through this 8-week program. Maybe you just finished off 80-day session before that. They want to know what we're going to do next. If everyone could mute themselves, that would be awesome. So have a plan in place. Maybe this isn't week 8 for you, and maybe you're doing a completely different program. My words of advice as a coach almost for 5 years now, guys, is do not go off track or quit. You just have to be consistent. Give me 1 second because I'm going to mute. Okay. And find a program and stick with it. I personally am going to do another round of this. So I hope that you guys will be too. And talk about it now, right? I also would encourage you not to give yourself a whole week off. Give yourself the weekend off, but get back into it right away. Don't go carb overload yourself and undo all your hard work over the weekend. Just stick to it, okay? The other thing is we have Pumpkin Spice coming September 17th. If you have not yet familiarized yourself with the launch of this, now is the time to do that. You can find all the information in the FAQ I shared in the team page. There are going to be packets. So I think it's 14 packets for $79. I think our coach price is $59. What I'm going to ask each one of you guys to do is I would get yourself a sample pack, a box to sell individually, because you're going to have those people who are I don't want to commit to a box for $80. Okay, cool. No problem. I have one sample for you for $5. And you can mail that to them. Go to Target in the dollar bin, get them, or get yourself some little dollar cards, do them a handwritten note, and send it to them. I would say also for those people who you've been working on really, really hard and they're not yet ready, that's another way to do it. Also just directing them if they're I don't really know if I want to do the shakes. guess what? We have a sample pack, which won't include the pumpkin spice, but you could direct them to that. This is going to be a huge volume builder for you if you start building momentum now. I know Leah has been posting it in her Insta stories. And I'm just picking on her because I can see her on my screen. And I've seen her Insta stories, and every day she's posting about it. Right? So I would encourage you to do that. I would also encourage you to do the work. How much does this pumpkin spice latte at your favorite coffee shop or Starbucks cost? What's in it? Nobody knows. And when they do know, they don't want to drink it. We have something that's going to taste awesome, and they can add their coffee to it. I would recommend it not being scalding hot because that takes out the nutrients. But you have a solution for all those pumpkin spice lovers. I would love if when I go to leadership, they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, we have an eggnog latte too, because that would be my life. Like that would transform everything. I guilty pleasure. I love pumpkin spice lattes. I mean, eggnog lattes. I got to figure out this year how to make them super like not fatty and healthy. But yeah, okay. So all of that coming. The next thing is on the 10th, is it the 10th? Next Tuesday, next Monday? Yes, next Monday, everyone on our team must be on the Diesel Nation call, okay? If you can't listen to it live, go ahead and save the time and do it as a follow-up, and you can listen to it later because there is going to be a super opportunity for you guys, for all of us, to get into a training, and I already have some inside information, and the content's going to be amazing. And I know those of you, like I talked in the beginning of the call, are pushing for really big goals. This is another way to get closer to those goals and learn from some amazing, amazing leaders. The other thing is between now and the end of the year, hold on, I'm going to mute this call. Okay. Between now and the end of the year, I'm opening up a group for anyone who is pushing towards big goals. I'm going to stop doing the messaging thread because I really want to pour into anyone in my organization, not just my personally sponsored coaches, that would like to push towards big goals for the end of the year. I will not add anyone who doesn't want to be added into it because I know how overwhelming and annoying it can be to get extra notifications. Which we'll talk about that in this call tonight. But if you are serious about growing your business and shooting for big goals by the end of the year, you want to be in this. And I put a post in the team page, just scroll through, add your name, and as soon as it's formed, I'll get you added. Okay, so let's get down to business and let's talk about the content of this call. And so by a show of hands, some of you are mute, some of you have your cameras off. If you can turn it on for a second, that would be awesome. If you can't, but by a show of hands, who gets easily overwhelmed? Okay, so not a lot of people get easily overwhelmed. Who gets overwhelmed? Who gets overwhelmed when it's back to school, then you know the holidays are coming, your kids are doing this sport, you have this final coming up, then you're put into this group and you have 17,000 notifications and there's a team call and you really want to be on it, but you also have this other thing. Yep, Amanda said she had a breakdown today. Girlfriend, hashtag me too. Sarah's raising her hand. Guess what? My breakdown was on Friday. Literally lost my shit. Sorry if you guys don't cuss or you have kids in the room. Literally called my husband and like 5 girlfriends that day, just told the same story over and over because it was like that desperate measures. Like I was done. Okay. I was overwhelmed. And guess what that did? It froze me. I didn't do anything. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about. We live in basically a microwave society where everybody wants things to happen within 30 seconds, right? They want their business to grow. They want their results. They want to save. They want to be out of debt. They want to live in a bigger house. They want their marriage to be fixed. It doesn't happen like that. And there's some things that we can do. Yeah, no, totally. Leah just had to put her dog down tonight. Like, love you, girlfriend. Totally feel awful. I'm so sorry. But like, here she is on this team call, right? You guys know how that is. Like, your pets are your family. And then add your kids into the mix and their feelings. Like, horrible. So sorry. But what I want to talk to us about, guys, is to stop freezing and to focus on what you have. Okay? So we have all these programs coming out. There's going to be more programs launching. There's going to be more groups available. There's going to be more trainings coming out. There's going to be more transformations out of these test groups for you to pick. There's going to be another flavor of Shakeology when we already have 7, if you include the vegan. Right? There's going to be more goals to hit. The bills are going to continue to come in every single month. The little shit that your spouse does is going to continue to weigh on you and nag at you, right? And so what I want you to do, number 1 right now, is just take a deep breath and know that you're not alone. And one of the things when I checked on Leah today is she said is, I'm just so glad that I have this team and I know I don't have to do it anymore, and I know that I can take care of myself. She said, I'm giving myself today and tomorrow to take care of myself. Do you know how proud that made me feel as a coach? The fact that she wanted to take care of herself instead of going out and just throwing spaghetti at a wall and hoping that something stuck. She was real, she was vulnerable, and guess what? That's what's going to build credibility for her, because we're not robots. We are people living in real life with real crap happening to us. But I don't want you to get so frozen in life that you don't do anything. Okay? Think about how you're serving your clients and the message that you're sending across. And I said this earlier, is that when you pick a program, you stick to it. Because everybody out there has something, right? There's ketone shake drinks. There's isogenics. There is, Arbonne. There is It Works. There's Jenny Craig. There is diet pills. There's cabbage soup diets. There's the 3-day military diet. There's something out there for everyone. And how we're going to win that battle, guys, is by staying the course, by utilizing our containers or our Tribe Nutrition, or sticking with 2B Mindset, sharing your transformation, sharing your freaking story, sharing that you didn't give up when you had to put your dog down. You didn't give up when your son was up all night. You didn't give up when you were on vacation, overwhelmed by anxiety, how you were going to afford the rest of your vacation. If you guys aren't reading Amanda's post, you're doing yourself a disservice. She's dropping some major inspiration, you guys. She's talking about this business constantly. And you have to talk about this business if you want to recruit people. Because how are they going to know that you have a solution for them if you don't offer it? Okay? The other person, Ricky, she just signed after me for almost 3 years. Girl shows up, right? She just hit Success Club for the first time. She hit Success Club 10. And she's not slowing down. She got to the first of the month and she was like, oh, I could sense she was overwhelmed. I'm like, girlfriend, it's like the 2nd of the month and it's a holiday weekend. I'm at Success Club 02. Take a deep breath, because I didn't want her to freeze up, because I see that happen so often is people think, well, I had the success. How will I duplicate that again? You do it. You've already done it. You have these big goals. You keep talking about them. Show me you're going to do it. Don't just talk about them. Put one foot in front of the other, and even if your legs are shaking as you walk, or your voice is shaking as you go on and you do a live video and you talk about your why or how it's impacted you to be a part of this team, do it anyways, because that's what's going to help you get better. Okay? It's not about doing what's new and what else is out there. Like I said, there's going to be more trainings thrown at you. There's going to be more programs out. You have to stick with what works for you. So if everybody's out there and they're going and everybody's going to go do Insanity because the new Transform 20 is coming out, and you freaking hated Insanity and you don't have to do it, but still talk about what's coming. Stick with what's working for you. If it's not working for you, I urge you to change it up a little bit. Am I freezing on you guys? I am.
Yes.
Sorry. Just put in the chat if I freeze again, because I see you guys freezing and I'm like, anyways, so stick with what works, right? We have the 4 vital behaviors for a reason. That doesn't mean do the 4 vital behaviors and then go out and learn how to use PicMonkey or Kavana and go and learn how to utilize Google Streak and all these things. Because if you get on a call with Christina Delgado, or you get on a call with Lindsay Matway, or you get on a call with Melanie Mitro, or you get on a call with Ashley Molstead, they're all going to tell you 5 different ways to do things. You have to do what works for you and stay in your lane, because what's overwhelming you is when you're like, oh, Christina's doing this. Oh, so-and-so's doing this. Love you too, girl. Does it this way. Like, you have to do your way and figure out what works for you, because that's what's going to work best. Does that make sense? And do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you're comfortable with it. Because that's when you're going to perfect it. That's when you're going to put the magic in. Okay? So you need to be seeing what works for you. And if you do it 5 times and you're like, shit, no one joined my challenge group when I invited that way, maybe try it a different way. Maybe use different verbiage. See what works for you, but don't let the noise of everything else overwhelm you to the fact where you don't do anything. And I see that so often on social media, that there's always somebody, anytime something new comes out, that's what they're doing. Oh, there's these new fat burners. Oh, there's this, da, 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 da. Guys, that's confusing to people. I'm not saying don't do the new programs. Absolutely do the new programs. But if you start, let's say you start Transform 20 and you're like, I like working out 40 minutes a day. I don't want to do a 20-minute workout. Be okay with staying in your lane. And be okay with saying, hey, I tried this program. It wasn't for me. I'm going back to this. Or, you know what? I found this works way better for me. 20 minutes. I'm getting killer results. I'm not someone who likes to do hour-long workouts. Whatever it is, just be transparent in your message. So what are some ways that you don't get overwhelmed? Number 1, make a schedule. So you're going to make a schedule and you're going to stick to it, right? People who make schedules are going to be a hell of a lot more productive than people who are just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something sticks, right? You have to be consistent in your invites. You have to be consistent in your messaging. That means constantly adding people to your network. If you're not doing that on a consistent basis, guess what? You're talking to the same 400 friends that you've had that have seen your story that are still not joining you. And maybe they're going to join you one day, but how will you know if you don't keep adding people into your network that there's not Sandra Sue from Kalamazoo because you were too afraid to send her a friend request? Stop getting in front of your, just stop letting your thoughts consume you and you're getting in your own way. Okay, so number 1 was make a list. Number 2, give yourself self-care time. And I don't just mean your workouts. I want you to have time where you're able to get off social media, walk away from your text messages, have a face-to-face conversation with your spouse, maybe watch a show. I used to so be like, you have to sacrifice those shows. Guys, I've been at this for 5 years. If you don't take care of yourself and you don't stay in routine of things that are going to bring you joy, you're going to become a robot and you're not going to have fun. And you will go into burnout like I did in 2017. And I don't want that for you. Okay, so please make time for yourself every single day. I love my gratitude journaling. I also have a very healthy obsession with Dr. Phil. So guess what? I just started DVRing. I started recording Dr. Phil so that I can kind of zone out on somebody else's stuff and hear Dr. Phil drop the bomb on them, because I like that. I do. I like that. I'm also not so attached to my phone where I feel like, oh my God, if I don't respond to this person, they're going to move on to the next person. No. They're reaching out to me and asking me questions because they know that I have a solution for them and I'm going to help them, and I'll get back to them in the morning. Because I want to train the people that join me that I'm not going to respond to them at 11 o'clock at night. I'm just not. I did that for a long time, and that doesn't bring me joy. That drains me. And so you have to figure out a routine for yourself, but give yourself that time to 100% disconnect. The other night on Friday, I didn't do any business stuff. I went with my girlfriend and we walked around the mall and went and had dinner and laughed and walked through Target. And I didn't Insta story the whole thing like I normally do. I just was present in having that connection with my friend. And it's okay to do those things for yourself. Okay. The other thing is you need to be doing an end of week gut check. Okay. So how many people did I add in for my list? Like I said, I had a goal this month to add 100 people. Did I add 25 people to my social networks? I had a goal to hit Success Club. Where am I at with that? I have a goal to add 10 new coaches to the team. Where am I at with that? So basically, every week you need to give yourself a gut check moment if you are doing the things and driving the behaviors. Obviously, you need to be real with yourself, and sometimes it takes reaching out to your coach or somebody on the team to say, hey, I'm not getting any bites. Can you give me some feedback? But yeah, and don't feel like you have to share everything on social media. I think that's another thing that overwhelms us is we are so connected that we feel like, oh my gosh, I just took a sip of coffee. I have to post that. Like my dog just did this new trick. I have to post that or people aren't going to know what I'm doing. Guess what? Not everybody cares, number one. And number two, that's going to drain you over time. Okay? Or what else did I have written here? Let me just look at my notes. Okay. So have a strategy going into September. Know what your goals are, how many coaches you want to recruit, how much you want to build your Instagram. I think I'm at like 1760 or 71. My goal by the end of the month is that I'm over 2,000 followers. So I have a goal of what I want. How am I going to do that? Guess what? Just did a giveaway. I have my Hot Mess Monday on a Tuesdays that I do with one of my girls. She's not on our team. She's in a completely different networking company. But that's also a joy outlet for me. Like we get to laugh, we get to add value, we get to talk about things we interest and help other people, we hope. So I'm doing a giveaway. I would suggest when pumpkin spice latte comes out, you do a giveaway with one pumpkin spice packet. And you could do something like, I don't know, a simple, what have I done before that's got a lot of people? Guess how many Shakeology packets are in this pile? Like if you had a whole bunch of samples. Or you could, it's almost Halloween. You could have a jar of freaking, what are those nasty little candies? Candy corn? How many is in this? Right? Just asking those questions, or if you're getting ready to go somewhere, having people vote, and the people that voted the 30th vote on yours will get a packet of Shakeology. Just making it interesting and random to grow your social media networks, okay? So I'm going to pause here because I kind of feel scattered. My daughter, look at you guys, look, Jenna wrote all over my notes. So I'm like, what did I write and what did she write? But what questions do you guys have, if any? Okay. So what we talked about tonight was just that feeling of overwhelm and how it can freeze you. And that you're going to find the things that work for you, especially in your business, guys, and stick with those. And yes, implement new things that are taught to you, but if it doesn't work for you, or if you have a system that's working, don't feel like you have to go and change everything. For example, every time we do an Emerald Rising call, all the leaders, we have different things, right? I love that Jeanette changed it. That was recruiting with confidence. I loved that because we had like 10 people go all talking about Emerald. So my thought is, how many people each week are changing the way they did that? That can be overwhelming. But sticking to your stuff, and that way you're modeling for people what you want. Putting together a schedule or calendar for the month and sticking with that so you don't get overwhelmed by it. Making time for yourself so that you don't get drained by the business or by life or have a breakdown like Amanda and I just had. Right? Giving yourself grace. But also, I would caution you not to give yourself so much grace that you're not doing anything and then you're waiting until the end of the month. You know what I mean? Because that happens too. Or you're waiting to the end of the year and you're like, man, I really wanted to hit diamond, but you never really recruited anyone. You just talked about it.
That I forgot about.
If you're not doing the behaviors that are going to move that stuff forward, you can't expect it to happen. So you have to get disciplined in doing them regularly. Hold on, I gotta mute someone.
I haven't watched it.
Okay. So yeah, it is pretty close to our cutoff time. I want to give you guys back the rest of your evening. Congratulations again to everyone who achieved 6 Club last month. I'm super proud of you. I know many of you have major goals going towards the end of the year. Just don't let life and the holiday season and all the new stuff overwhelm you, because that will freeze you and you'll look back and be like, holy crap, I sat on my hands because I didn't know what to do. If that happens, also you can reach out. You can share on the team page. We can give you different ideas on how to unstuck yourself. So I love you guys. I got to go deal with my crazy dog because she's barking. Imagine that. And thank you, Lizzie, for recording. And let's have a killer successful month. Let's knock the socks off of pumpkin spice and start sharing that now, guys. Don't wait till September 17th to start talking about it or to have your perfectly blended shake. Talk about it now. Get people on a list. Christina shared an example of what she is sending. Also share an example of mine. But yeah, that is it. Have a great evening, and I will talk with you later.